So I'm Sara, I'm from Lebanon, and
I'm Mandisa, I'm from South Africa, and I'm part of the hyper-endemic pillar of AIDS 2031.
right, and I want to turn it off to Mandisa and say that she's an academic and she's working on grassroots organizations at the same time, and I think it adds a lot of credibility to the work, and I want to hear her views on it.
Well, I think it's really important for academics and people who are researchers to help out activists and members of grassroots organisations with evaluating their programmes and demonstrating to donors, stakeholders, partners and their members that there's actually an evidence base for their activities, and to really demonstrate objectively the outcomes that they achieve, because I think it will help them to generate more support for their policies and programmes, and also to fundraise more effectively. And I also wanted to ask you about what you think academics can learn from activists.
You know, I think that most of the time academics are in a way that they get sort of caught up in the academia part of it, and they forget what the humanitarian part or what's going on the ground. And it's a very important thing to actually link both things and make sure that we understand what each other are going through. And it also helps with policymakers. Let's say when you're working with NGOs, make sure that you have a policymaker as an activist. You know, mobilize someone in your community to be your policymaker within that NGO and add more credibility to your work. Get an academic to work as a researcher for your NGO and add even more credibility to your work. This way you have this huge coalition where you know that you're really going to get great results when you're talking about global issues.
Shall we say a few closing words? Because I know there's something I'd quickly like to say before we say goodbye. I just want to say that I think all too often professors and expert researchers are very isolated from the communities really affected by HIV/AIDS, and I think it would be really powerful for them to use the institutional space that's provided, the libraries, the research funding they have, to really use it to demonstrate, you know, that there's evidence for outcomes when you, for instance, when you include young people living with HIV as meaningful participants in policy-making processes, that are really meaningful outcomes, and also to use the privilege and the space that we have as scholars and as researchers for social good, basically. And do you have any closing words?
I think that's a very tough act to follow, so no. But
okay, so we say goodbye then.
Here.
Bye.
See you guys.
You think it's going to be okay?